Every single year, it seems like Dominican Republic is breaking another tourism record. More visitors, more flights, more hotels, more cruise ships, and more people discovering this country for the very first time. So why is it that Dominican Republic keeps breaking these tourism records? Now, if you asked me this before I actually moved here, I would answer because of Punta Cana. But after living here for 5 years, that's only part of the story. A very small part of the story. Yes, the beaches are beautiful, the weather is amazing, but you gotta realize there are a lot of countries with beautiful beaches and amazing weather. So why does Dominican Republic continue to separate itself from the rest of the Caribbean? After exploring this country and speaking to hundreds of people who have visited here or have retired here or are even thinking about moving here, that answer goes much deeper. So today I want to share why I think Dominican Republic continue to break these tourism records and why I don't see it stopping anytime soon. One of the biggest advantages that I think Dominican Republic has that most people don't realize is that Dominican Republic is not just one vacation destination. It's several destinations wrapped up into one country. Most people know Punta Cana, and for very good reason. It's beautiful. Then you have Santo Domingo, a city that's filled with a lot of history, restaurants, nightlife, museum. It's actually the oldest city in the Americas. And then you have places like Samaná, which has a completely different vibe. Hidden beaches, lush green mountain, waterfalls, whale watching. It almost feels like you're in another country. And if you haven't seen my video I did on Samaná, you can watch it right there. Then what about Puerto Plata? Puerto Plata has its own personality. And then you have Cabarete, that is known around the world for kiteboard and windsurfing. And let's not forget Jarabacoa, that gives you the rivers, the mountains, and the cool weather. And right next to Jarabacoa, you have Constanza, which feels nothing like the Dominican Republic. Matter of fact, it feels nothing like the Caribbean. So many completely different experiences, that's something not every destination can offer. And another reason is simple. It's easy to get here. Whether you're flying from the United States, Canada, Europe, or parts of Latin America, chances are there are different flights available, and that's a huge advantage. People don't want to overcomplicate travel anymore. People want to get to their destination. If they can leave in the morning and be sitting on the beach by the afternoon, that's a big selling point. I remember doing that when I lived in Alabama. I would fly from Alabama at 6 o'clock in the morning from Huntsville. By 3 or 4 o'clock, I was sitting on the beach in Punta Cana. I've met people who come down here for a long weekend. Again, that was me. Others who started the vacation here and now they just come here every winter. Accessibility matters more than people think. And another reason is tourism has evolved here. Years ago, you had many visitors who would come to Dominican Republic, they'll check into a resort, and guess what? They would never leave. But today, people want experiences. They want to walk through Zona Colonial. They want to eat where the locals eat. They want to visit the Comado. They want to hike to the waterfalls. They want to learn about Dominican culture. They want to take the dance classes. They want to explore the neighborhoods instead of being trapped behind some resort walls. And Dominican Republic has adapted to this particular shift. And yes, visitors, they can still enjoy the resort vacation. But if they want something more authentic, there are endless opportunities waiting for them right here in the country. One unique thing about living here instead of just visiting like I used to is watching before your eyes how the country has changed or is changing. I've seen roads improve. I've seen several residential communities being built. New hotels open. New neighborhoods are developed. Areas that were relatively quiet years ago now have restaurants in them, plazas, and businesses opening every single month. I've seen the growth here just in Naco, which Naco used to be mostly a residential neighborhood. Now Naco is turning to the second coming of Piantini. And areas like Miches are attracting new investment opportunities. And Pedernales is becoming one of the country's most talked about tourism projects. Downtown Punta Cana, it's expanding. And as I just said, Santo Domingo itself, it's expanding. And remember, growth creates momentum, and momentum, it attracts people. And I honestly, some people may not like this, but social media deserves a lot of the credit. Because before, in the past, people had to depend on travel brochures and travel agents. And now, today you got people like me on social media. Someone can post a picture from Playa Fortan, and then you have people like me posting pictures from a rooftop restaurant, and then you got somebody else filming themselves zip lining through Jarabacoa. And within hours, you have millions and millions of people seeing something in a country that they never expected. Dominican Republic benefits from thousands and thousands of people being unofficial ambassadors, like myself. Every Instagram reel, every TikTok, every YouTube video, they all introduce someone new to this country. And I've seen this firsthand through this channel. People tell me all the time, I never knew Dominican Republic had places like this. And they especially say it when it comes to Santo Domingo. People used to always think Santo Domingo was so dangerous that like it was a war zone. And now when people see me living my life, a regular life here in Santo Domingo, they tell me, Jay, I didn't even know it was like that. People used to say it was dangerous. But you have to understand, people make the difference. And that's the biggest reason, because you can build hotels, you can expand airports, you can create amazing attractions, but you cannot manufacture hospitality. And one thing that I've experienced over and over and over again is how welcoming Dominican people are. People smile, they strike up conversations, they offer recommendations, and they seem to be genuinely happy that you're here in their country. And those are the type of moments that kind of stay with people. Long after they leave their hotel room, they often remember how people made them feel. And that's what made me want to move here and build my life here. Another strength is the flexibility. There's a budget here in Dominican Republic for everybody. Not everybody travels the same way. And that's why you'll hear a lot of times people say you can live for $1,500 a month, and then you'll see somebody say that you can live for $10,000 a month, because not everybody travels the same way. Some people want 5-star resorts. Some people just want a small boutique hotel. Some people prefer Airbnb, and others rent an apartment for a month while they're working remotely. Dominican Republic has options for almost every budget and every lifestyle. Families, couples, solo travelers, retirees, digital nomads, adventure seekers, luxury travelers. That's why you see so many type of visitors visiting this country. And this is probably my favorite part, because I've seen it several times. Someone comes here for a week vacation, and next thing you know, they fall in love with the country. They come back next year, and then they stay for an entire month. And eventually, they start asking, how much would a condo cost? Could I retire here? Could I work remotely from here? And some of the people watching this probably started the exact same way. A vacation changed into a life decision. It happened for me. And in fact, that's one of the reasons why I started this channel. I realized that people wanted more information beyond what they can figure out in just 1 week of vacation. Another exciting trend is tourism is spreading across the country. Now, Punta Cana will always be the done data of the biggest attractions when it comes to vacation here in Dominican Republic. But now people are discovering other places. Samaná, Baibe, Wandolio, Puerto Plata, Cabarete, Miches, Pedernales. And it means that tourism can benefit more communities than just being concentrated in this one area. It's good for the travelers, and in my opinion, it's good for the country, but you're gonna have others that argue with that. When people hear tourism records, the first thing they think about is hotels. But tourism impacts much more than just hotels. Restaurants hire more staff, taxi drivers have more customers, tour guides, they grow their business, locals sell more products, the coffee shop and cafes, they stay busy, construction companies, they build new projects, and entrepreneurs open more businesses. Tourism creates opportunity for thousands of people who would never ever be able to work inside a resort. And that's one of the reasons it's such a big part of the Dominican economy. And of course, growth also brings responsibility. We can't forget that. As more people discover Dominican Republic, the country must protect what makes this country special in the first place. The beaches, the mountains, the culture, the neighborhoods, and the traditions. Growth should never come at the expense of the very same thing that attracted people to the country in the first place. I 100% stand by that. So when I first moved here, I thought that most people only knew about Punta Cana and a few people about Santo Domingo, some about Puerto Plata, Sosúa, Cabarete, but today I see it very differently. Yes, people are coming for the beaches, but they're staying because they discovered everything else: the history, the food, the culture, the people, the mountains, the city, the pace of life. Every year, more and more people realize that the Dominican Republic is more than just a vacation resort. Every year, more and more travelers are realizing that Dominican Republic is more than just a resort destination. And that's why I believe this country continues to break its tourism record. Not because it's trying to be like some other tourist destination, because it's offering something that's uniquely Dominican. And if Dominican Republic is on your bucket list, what are you most excited about experiencing once you get here? Drop that in the comments below. And guys, if you're interested about moving to Dominican Republic and you don't want to figure it out alone, I created a private community called DR VIP Network. The link's in the video description below. In this community, we're gonna have live Q&As with me. We're gonna talk real estate. We're gonna talk remote income. We're gonna have expert guests and in-person meetups right here in the country. And also I have 2 newsletters, Live Your Best Life newsletter and DR Insiders Real Estate newsletter. Guys, you wanna make sure you join that community. Links in the video description below as well. And until then, always keep your goals at the forefront of your mind. Always live in the present, because that's the only way you're gonna live your best life. And we out. Peace.